Hi, this is Shannah, and this is a request reading, a pick a card reading on the subject, what is blocking your love life? And we have three possibilities here. We have pile number 1 with a Fuchsit Rubin crystal. There you go, or stone in this case. I always forget the name of this one. I know it starts with an M, but now it's gone from my memory. I'm sorry for that. But this beautiful green stone looks like planet Earth. I find really beautiful. And then we have the clear quartz crystal here. Okay, so take your time to choose your pile. You can stop the video if you like, and I will see you in a couple of moments. So if you chose pile number 1 with a Fuchsit Rubin stone, this is your reading. So I hope you are all doing well and that you are safe and taking care of yourselves and the ones you love. And let's see what may be blocking your love life. So first of all, we have Be the Hunter, Not the Hunted, number 8. I find this title here a bit misleading because the first impression we may get is that we should be hunting the other person. But the message of the card is actually quite different. The thing is, one of the things that may block your love life, the thing is that you are someone who is really, really giving. You give everything and you ask nothing in return. You just want to be loved. And you find that for being loved, for being accepted, for being appreciated, you have to give. You have to support the other person, the person you care about, in every way possible. The only thing here is you lose yourself in this situation. You forget your own needs. You forget who you really are and what is your purpose in life. So it's like you just give yourself completely, unconditionally, and asking nothing in return. And the thing is, the other person may then take you for granted, even if the person is not this kind of personality of taking others for granted. But in these dynamics, because you just give, so it's very easy for the other person then to take you for granted. And this is something that then makes the situation unfair, uneven, and you end up feeling lonely or feeling unappreciated because the other person is not going to return in kind, not because the person is unkind or selfish, but the other person ends up not seeing the reason why, or they don't feel that they need to, or that you need something from them, because they think, or they start believing that you're just very happy in giving. And this is a time when you need to start seeing the truth, start seeing your own worth. And that also realizing that this kind of behavior can be very positive, that you are a very giving person. But when it starts harming your own purpose, when it starts hurting your heart, then it's when it turns negative. It turns to your enemy. And that's not something that you want. Nobody wants that. So it's also time to realize that this comes from your past, probably from your upbringing. For some of you, I'm getting even another life, right? With something that, oh, I see. What I'm getting is like this orphan vibes, so this kind of orphan mindset. By orphan mindsets, I mean abandonment issues. You don't have to be an orphan to have abandonment issues. Usually it's like things that happen during childhood that you ended up not getting the love or the support you needed, be it as a baby or as a young child. And that, like with your very young logic, you just then assume, oh, that's because I'm not worthy of it, I'm not good enough. And by believing in this, you try to overcompensate in trying to make the other person very happy, pleasing their every need, being incredibly understanding. Maybe they are respectless. They lack respect for you. Let's put it that way. They lack respect for you. Or there's something offensive or something that hurts you, but you always find a reason to understand it. You always find a way to forgive them. And that's why then your person or your partner ends up thinking they can get away with anything. It's like you give too much. Because, again, I repeat, it's the only way you feel that you are worthy of love, worthy of the other person's time and attention. Then we have water. Again, this is the same energy. This is number 8. Here we have 61, which, adds up to a 7. So water, again, this is a very positive energy. Because in the famous words of Bruce Lee, be like water, right? But being like water, being able to adapt is very positive. But again, if it then hurts your feelings or ends up going against your purpose, then it's actually a negative attribute. Because you adapt too much to your person, you adapt too much to their needs. It's well and good to be passionate, like if your partner likes football or baseball or whatever ball, that you start liking that too, or start finding it interesting. Or if your partner likes to surf, you start learning to surf as well. That's wonderful. But the thing is when you forget that what is your purpose, that when you don't dedicate any more time and attention to your own goals, to your own hobbies, to what you really love, right? So you're all concentrated on just the other person. And water is also not having boundaries. You don't have any boundaries. You, like I said, you give yourself fully, completely. You want to dissolve yourself with the other person, which again can be positive. But here, because we're talking about blockages, this is what then keeps you from going. The other person takes it for granted, right? And I think like when turning to a blockage, this is now coming to a time where you're afraid of doing this again, right? You're afraid because this is something you do naturally without thinking, because the program is always running and you're afraid you don't have control over this program. And then we have number 7, look, 7 as a confirmation. Then we have the child. Oh, let's put it in a way that you can see it. We have here the child, and this for me is also a confirmation that this comes from your childhood. This comes from your upbringing, something that happened when you were very small. And again, I have this feeling of abandonment issues. And it's also like the fear of being punished. And the fear of being punished here is also the, when the lack of love, that the other person may withdraw their love and attention from you. Because this is something like, especially nowadays, I'm not so sure parents still do this kind of things. But some years ago, when you were growing up, possibly, it was one of the ways of punishing a child is withdrawing their love from the child, not paying them attention, ignoring them. And that for a very young child can be heartbreaking. They don't understand the world anymore. So it's this being afraid of like if you do something wrong, if you step out of line, or you don't fulfill their every need, that they're going to withdraw their love from you and you're going to be abandoned and all alone in the world. This is your assumption. This is what you think is not true, right? This is what's blocking you from having a healthy relationship based on give and taking, right? Let's see what the other cards have. Then we have believe and succeed. This is the Six of Wands. Now, the Six of Wands is a card of victory, right? And this is this believe and succeed. And I think here, in this context of blockages, that what we have here is don't really believe that you can be loved for what you are. This is something you want. This is your aim. This is your light at the end of the tunnel, right? Your lighthouse. It's like you want love. You want to be loved for everything you are. But deep inside, you don't believe that you deserve it. You don't believe that it's going to be a reality for you. So you have that. You have this fear of abandonment, this not being good enough mindset, and not believing, really not believing that you can be loved for everything you are, that you're really good enough. And this is something what is coming across to me as well. It's like, because of this light, it's also like this daydreaming. You daydream a lot about this possibility of being together with someone in a very complete, very loving, very safe relationship, but it's like something that is very, very far away and probably you'll never reach it, right? But you dream of this, and somehow within you, I also have the feeling that you know that is possible. You just don't know how to reach that shore, how to reach that light. It's a bit of confusion here as well, but it's like, and it's funny here because we have the flower of life, and it's also like this is you have two programs running at the same time, and you may even have the feeling that at times you're a bit schizophrenic, which you're not. Just like on the one hand, you're completely sure you're going to find the love of your life. On the other hand, you have this program running telling you're not good enough, you'll never find it, and even if you find it, he's going to hate you or she's going to hate you, something like that, right? Something along these lines. You have different programs running, and sometimes they are also conflicting. And sometimes it's like you self-sabotage yourself, like when you find the right person or one person that looks very promising, then you start sabotaging yourself. You know, you do all the things that you know you shouldn't be doing. I think this is like the kind of scenario we have here. And you just sabotage yourself because deep within you, you think you're not worth it, you know, that you do not deserve it. So you're shooting your own foot the whole time, but it's not even your fault. This is very important. I want you to know this is not your fault. The program is just running. It's not even the program's fault. It's just there. The thing is how to get out of it, right? And I think it's just being aware. And here the child is actually very good news. The child is always the second chance, you know. And actually here, I even have to tell you, this is the promise. You're not going to be punished anymore. You don't have to go through the same pattern. You don't have to go through the same program anymore. And I feel you're waking up. And that's why here this card is also very promising, telling you success is at hand. You can do things differently. And we have the star. How beautiful. We have heal. Yeah. And then we have number 8, 6, 7, twice. Really interesting. But here's another 7. Yeah. And with heal, this is a star. So you're breaking the chains. You're already in this process of breaking the chains of your past, right? And again, your past is not to blame. You actually, I have the feeling when you're choosing this, you're already started the healing process, and you're already beyond the blame game. And the blame game is necessary at first when you start healing, when you start realizing the pattern, saying my parents did this, my mother didn't do that enough, my dog, whatever, you know, like, but it's necessary. It's a necessary step to throw stones, so to say, in order to understand the dynamic of the pattern. Only like when you go one step further, you'll realize that your parents or the people that did this to you, they have the same program running. So they're actually also not aware of what they're doing. They're not doing it on purpose to hurt you. They just can't do it in any other way, right? Most of the cases, it will be like that. So it's not a question of the blame game. It's a question of how can I break the chains. And you are in this process of breaking the chains, of finding your light, finding your truth, who you really are, how you want to love. And there's a lot of hope here. Again, we have this light here, we have this light, and there's a lot of hope as things are changing already for you, right? And you are healing. You are healing from these patterns. And I have the feeling you're still afraid that this pattern will repeat at least one more time. And you're not up for it. You may be at the moment afraid of love, but you're very hopeful at the same time. So we have these two energies running side by side. But I think fear is actually winning at the moment. You know, you want to be sure that you're healed. You want to be sure that you're in your energy. Then we have number 18, pleasure. So the next three cards now, so including this one, is what to do in the situation. So we have pleasure. Pleasure is all about being playful, being carefree, in the sense it's like, don't take life so seriously. Don't take this situation so seriously that you forget to have fun, that you forget to flirt. You know, when it comes to love, you know, be carefree, be light in both sense of the word. Yeah. So get into this really open-heartedness, light-heartedness, so that you can start enjoying life. And this is also will help you in your transformation, because the more you look at the problem, the bigger the problem will get, right? So know what it is, see through it, start healing, but then start finding ways to find joy in your life again. So the transformation is quicker. And here we have an almost complete full moon. So it's like you're almost there, but it's waning. So actually it's waning, but you're almost there anyway. You're already healing. So the first step now is how to come to this joy, how to come to this lightheartedness, because this will speed up the process. Then we have peace, number 28. And here is also, it's like, stop fighting love, stop being afraid of love, and stop, you know, just looking at the problem is the same thing. Just close. You're about to close the process, close this cycle, right? You're ending it. So just let it end peacefully. You don't have to fight anymore. You don't have to struggle anymore. You just acknowledge that this phase is ending, and you are more centered. You are more aware of yourself and of your worth as well. And then we have 38, Hunter Moon, abundance. First of all, I don't know if you noticed this, but we have 18, 28, 38. So we have this progression. So yes, you are healing in big steps, and you're almost there. We have here the Hunter Moon. This is the moon before winter starts. So, and it's interesting here, because if you start to have fun, if you start to just accept things as you are, accept your past, accept that you are healing, and you start healing in peace and not in struggle, not in pain, not in resentment, right? Then you start seeing all the opportunities around you, because this is a moon of abundance. This is a moon saying, hey, you have so many opportunities of finding love. There's so much joy. There's so much friendship. There's so much companionship around you. You're going to meet new people. You're going to make new friends. You're going to find your tribe, people that love you for who you are and how you are. See, like she is here surrounded by all these animals that love her. You know, you're going to find your tribe. Excuse me for that. And it's almost saying, the more you relax, the more you let the past go, and find peace with everything that happened to you, with everything that probably has been done to you. You find peace, accept it, and let it go. The quicker you will heal. And when you heal, or you're in this healing process, you start seeing all this beauty and bounty around you, and how life is actually merciful and giving, very, very giving. So let's see here the healing process. We have number 51, another 6. Goddess Isis and Isis crystal. She shall always prevail. And crystal goddesses 888. Now, with this card here, you can get the crystal as well. So I don't sell crystals, but you can get it if you find it. I've never seen an Isis crystal live and in 3D, never. But it's beautiful, nevertheless. Yes, so she shall always prevail. First of all, this card is telling you that you are very, very strong, that it's very difficult to bring you down. Yes, sometimes life can bring you to your knees, but you always get up again. You always like this stand up, they're always getting up. I don't know how it's called. And it's something, not Jack in the Box, but something similar. All these old toys that you could never bring them down. They're always getting up again. So you're more or less like that. You're very, very strong. You are almost indestructible, so to say. But, sometimes we are very sad. But then this card is telling you, one thing that is amazing about you is that in the end, you always choose love over bitterness. You always choose love over resentment. And the card is here to remind you here is the same. You see, yes, things have been done to you that were unpleasant, that broke your heart, selfish things, rude things were even said to you. People hurt you. But you are bigger than this. You are better than that. You have this strength, compassion, and love in you that can move mountains, actually. And now it's the time to use this compassion, this love for yourself, to heal your wounds. And it's like everything is going to be okay. The goddess Isis comes and says, everything will be fine. Everything will be okay. Just remember to love. Find that love within you, like we were seeing here. Find that passion, find that pleasure in you, that fun and that peace of mind within you. Be loving with yourself. Because one thing here that can also happen is like you blame yourself for everything that happened to you and so on. Yes, we are responsible for what happens to us, but it's no need to blame ourselves. Like I said earlier, you're not to blame. When the program runs, the program runs. There's hardly anything you can do against it. Just be peaceful and loving with yourself. Accept it for what it is and know that you are on your journey to heal and that you're starting to behave differently with people, also in love situations. That yes, you are giving and caring, but you don't let others step all over you anymore. So that you're not taken for granted anymore. Then we have number 35, another 8. Ascended Master, Babaji, and Diamond. So it shall be, number 333. Now, this card here is just amazing. You have here 3 confirmations that, yes, you will find the love of your life. Yes, you're going to heal. Because we have the abundance and believe and succeed. These are all yes cards. And this card is like the definite big, big yes. If it's love that you want, the love of your life, your soulmate or twin flame, whatever you prefer. If it's something that you really want, a beautiful love relationship, someone you can count on, someone who's reliable, someone who will love you for everything you are without taking you for granted, the answer is yes. It's coming. I cannot tell you when, but the cards are telling you, yes, don't be fearful. And it's also telling you, now that you know that the person that loves you exists and you will find this person, there's no need to be too compliant with other people. There's no need to be, too pleasing, in the sense like there's no need to lose yourself to please other people, because the person exists. You will find this person, you'll have a relationship with this person that loves you completely, but now it's time to start loving yourself completely. Yeah, because it starts with you. So give this compassion, give this love to you. Now the last card, we have number 1, beyond death, life. So this card means a cycle is coming to an end. All this cycle of self-doubt, of selling yourself short, of losing yourself in the other person is coming to an end. It's like a part of you, a part of your personality is dying. And you're probably already feeling this. There are big changes within yourself. So let it happen. Let it go. It's a bit confusing at first because it's not one goes and the other is already there, completely established. So they still, like overflow one another. But let it happen peacefully again, because your life is going to change, and mainly because you are changing. And it's like you're growing out of everything that has been. And there's this time now of trusting in life. You're learning now to trust life and trust love. Trust that you can be loved for everything you are. You are learning that you can trust the support of the universe, the support of God, that God will be there to guide you and support you and to love you throughout your life. Yeah. So pile number 1, this was your message. I hope it resonates and inspires you, and I wish you a wonderful time full of love. So if you chose pile number 2, this is your reading. So I hope you're all safe and doing well. And let's see then what is blocking your love life. So the first card is then number 9. What do you feel? Now, if someone has to ask, what do you feel? Like, you're not really in your body, you're not really in your emotions. And you are actually more kind of expecting other people either to guess how you feel or to tell you how you feel as well. And this is the first impression, is that there are many possibilities around you. There are many opinions. So you actually kind of more trust the opinions of others than your own. And you're not very much in touch with your own feelings. And another thing here as well is, like I said, you're too much in your head, not in your emotions. So you are overthinking things. You think too much about the pros and cons and what to do. Should I take the orange? Should I take the apple? And and this makes the blockage, because at the end of the day, you're not doing, you're just thinking. You're not even feeling, you're just thinking. Is this good for me? Is it not? Should I do this? Should I go to the left? Should I have said this? Should I have left in that moment? You're like overthinking. And it's like also here, you want to be perfect. You want everything to be perfect. But at the end of the day, you're standing in your own way and not letting things unfold. It's the feeling I get here. There's a lot of control as well. Not that you're controlling or manipulating other people, but you're controlling yourself, in the sense that you're not allowing yourself to be natural. It's like everything is kind of programmed or thought through. And if And this makes very hard for you to be impulsive, to be spontaneous. That's the word. Yeah. And you doubt, you have a lot of doubts. You doubt yourself, you doubt your worth, you doubt like the intentions of other people. There's a lot of doubts here. And you just lose yourself in your thoughts. You just way too much up in your head. Let's see what the other cards say. So we have here the Witness. Yeah. Number 64. So with the Witness is really, you are more like an observer. You're just watching. So again, you're not doing. You're observing the people. You're observing what you want. You're just watching the whole time, but you're not really taking action. You're not taking risks. Yeah, because in your head it's like you're weighing, like I said, all the pros and cons. You're weighing like the consequences and if everything. There's a lot of fear. That's again, this is a lot of fear here, and that's keeping you to move on. Is keeping you even to start something meaningful with someone else. So for many of you who are watching or who chose pile number 2, this is really keeping you from starting relationships. Could be that many of you are been single for a long time already because you're just watching from afar but not really making the moves. And it's always overthinking, even when you think, even if the other person is interested, you're not in the moment. That's the thing. You're not in the moment. So instead of taking the energy of the other person, you follow like a script. That's what I'm getting exactly. And then only afterwards will you notice, then it's like, oh my God, this person was giving me these signs, but I was too busy being cool. For instance, this is just like one possibility. And you're too much on the sidelines and watching the others play. But it's like, and this can cause also some resentment because you're seeing other people living the life you'd like to, or having the love you'd like to have or like to experience. But you're just not taking the risk. You're not taking the risk. You're too much in your head. And you're also a bit afraid of what other people might think as well. It's like, I have again, okay, this will be just for some of you, that some of you had a very conservative upbringing. Like some things you shouldn't do, that life or love have, a very strict way of being done, right? Of like a set of rules. And you shouldn't really, do things differently, or maybe your reputation will suffer under it. It's all okay. You just have to see, what's, if it's really helping you or it's keeping you from getting your happiness, because you don't have now to throw all your belief systems out of the window. It's not that. It's just to really see what's really in your way, what's really keeping you from being happy, from being spontaneous, from being in your feelings even. Yeah. Then we have the drum, number 15. So we have another 6 here. Now the drum is a wonderful card, and it actually is just saying that you're a bit, this is one of the things cause this fear, because you are different. You really march to a different drum, to the beat of a different drum, or to a different beat of a drum. No, it doesn't matter. But it's like, you're quite different from the crowd. You're quite different from the typical, girl, woman, boy, man. You have your own personality. You're kind of very special. And you're also a bit timid, a bit shy, a bit introverted, which is okay. You're just afraid that you won't be loved for what you really are. You are afraid that people won't understand you, or you just think you're too different. But That's not true. I'll tell you now, that's not true. Because no matter how different you are, you will always be loved. There will always be people who love you and love that difference. Maybe like some of you, or most of you who are watching, if you doubt that, just look around you. You probably have friends that love you. You probably have friends that find your uniqueness fantastic and amazing, you know, and accept you as you are completely. And sometimes it just takes one person in the world to accept you as you are completely, for you to know that is possible, to find then a partner that will do that as well. And I think if you look to the people around you, there will be at least one who just accepts you and loves you for what you are, like in your group of friends. Okay? Maybe in the past you had a love partner that really accepted you for what you were, you know, even if you're not together anymore, but you already had that experience that it is possible. This is important, right? And that's why you're like too much in your head. You're kind of like trying to protect yourself from being hurt. You know, maybe when you were younger, people didn't understand you and wanted you to be different. And maybe you try now, like when you approach love, to show this different side, to be something you're not. You try to be like some people you admire and some people you find cool, but that's not you, right? So go to your heart. What does your heart need, right? And just be yourself. I know it's difficult and sometimes very abstract just to say be yourself, because sometimes we have to find out first who we are. But it's like, what is pleasing to you? What feels comfortable? You know, even if sometimes we have to get out of our comfort zone, but first we have to know our comfort zone. So here we have the Ace of Swords, clarity of belief. And again, very in your head, very much in your head. This is very intellectual, but this card I find positive because I see here a transformation. And it's also like seeing the truth, seeing who you really are, right? Seeing the truth and going through the heart. When you unite your mind with the heart, you have this beautiful transformation. So I think this transformation is what is about to happen. And maybe you're already starting this transformation. Some of you are already riding this wave, you know, and that's why you're trying to probably chose this in order to find some light, some more inspiration or guidelines. And you're already in this transformation. You are changing, right? You are starting to accept more who you are. And you're probably already putting yourself more out there and taking risks. And taking risks, for those who don't know, and that's why it's called taking a risk, it can go wrong and it can hurt you, you know. It's like people say, before finding your prince, you have to kiss a bunch of frogs. Yeah. It happens, you know, but if you are aware of who you are and what you want and your worth, then the process won't be so difficult and it won't be hurtful, right? Because you know, you're just, you know, trying and you are on your journey finding true love, finding a partner. Yeah. Then we have daydreams and decisions. This is number 7. This is the 7 of Cups. Yeah. So again, with daydreams, you're too much in your head. Like I said, you're just watching what's happening around you, and you're daydreaming, you're wanting, you know, much of this happiness for yourself. But now is the time, and this is the part of this transformation of seeing the truth, of changing your life, of making the decision of coming down to earth. And you see her, you know, she's making this hard. You have to come to your heart and you have to ground yourself. She's not grounded. See here? She doesn't have any, she doesn't even have feet. She's not grounded. She's just in her head. So you have to ground yourself. You have to bring all these dreams into reality. And it is possible. They're not just dreams. They're your visions. They're your vision of what you want. You know, because people call things dreams and put them aside. Ah, it's just a dream. No. Dreams that just don't come out of nowhere. They come from your soul. They come from your heart. They come from your gut, from your being. If you dream it, it's because something is important to you, right? So get out of your head and bring it, manifest it, bring it down to earth. And this is something, like I said, you are about to do now. There's a big transformation going on in your life, in your being at the moment. And I love here this green butterfly, and it's funny because this is green as well. So this is where you're moving, and they're all showing to the heart. You're getting more into your heart space, to who you really are. And the first steps of getting into your heart space can be a bit difficult, because that's where your vulnerability is. That's where your past hurts are. So at first we're kind of scared because, oh my God, some of our hurts or old wounds are coming back to the surface. But it's a beautiful gift. After this first hurdle that doesn't take so very long, then you start finding this gratitude for life, this love for life, love for yourself, love for others. And when you start communicating with your heart and with your mind, and also combining it with your gut, you're complete. Then you're completely grounded. You're a heavenly being in the moment. So this is really beautiful, because all these fears, all this hiding in your mind and trying to control your reality is now giving way to a more complete way of being, and giving way to openness and realization of dreams. This is really beautiful. Let's see the other cards. So this cards now is so what to do in the situation. The next 3 cards. We have number 42, the masculine, the lunar god. Then I'll just show them all. Okay. Then we have 32, trust, egg moon. And then we have 20, beauty. So what to do in the situation? So first of all, it's like with the lunar god, is coming into your power, right? Lunar gods are very seldom in the earth cultures, but it's coming to your power, coming to this realization also of like, you are responsible for your life. You can lead your life. You make the decisions of your life. And it is time to put yourself out there. And funnily enough, I've never realized this before, which proves my observation skills are not that good. But here we have this boy and girl. Look, I hope you can see it. Under that star. Is that beautiful? So this is your aim. But it's like, you're responsible for your happiness. You're responsible of how you present yourself. You're responsible of how you put yourself out in the world, right? And when I said empowerment, it's like, you don't have to fake. You don't have to be someone you're not. You just have to realize your own power and realize your worth as well. And what I'm getting here, because with all these moon phases up here, is like, it can take a while until you find this happiness, until you are in your power. But in hindsight, you will understand that this was such a beautiful journey. Your growth was just so fantastic. And it was so giving, so... yeah, it was like a very generous time where you grew so much and you learned so much about yourself and others and life in general, and love life in general. But just like with the full moon here, I'm also getting the impression that you're being guided. You're being guided to someone who is... okay, this is really specific, but I think it's true for those who chose parallel 2. So you're being guided to your dream person. It's like I said earlier, you've been dreaming a lot, daydreaming a lot in your head. And with this lunar god, is like, oh, this is so beautiful. This person exists. This person does exist. Like I said, your dreams, they do not come out of nowhere, right? So we're always linked to something. And this person exists. And it's going to be somewhat like this guy here. more or less. But it's like this person exists. You're going to find this person, and the moment you see this person, you just know, you both of you will know that you found each other. So don't despair, don't be sad, because you're changing it. And the thing to do here as well is just to learn to trust that you are lovable, that you are protected, and that people love you as you are. Right? You always protected. So really, like what I get with this card right now in this context is nothing bad will happen to you. You are protected. And there are friends around you that will protect you and be there for you no matter what. Right? But what I get here, I don't get this energy here of people telling you what to do and what to think and what to feel and so on. That's not the energy I'm getting. I'm getting these people around you that will be there for you. You know, like if you need support, if you need a shoulder to cry on, if you need someone to share your joy with, these are people, it's like they're family. You know, the family you chose, that they will give you safety as well. Like they will give you this feeling of that you're always protected, you're loved, and you can be who you are. Oh, that's really beautiful. Yes, surround yourself more with this kind of people. You need that. And they always kind of confirm how wonderful, special, and fantastic you are. And speaking of fantastic, then we have beauty. Yes, the cards are saying here, in case you were doubting, because you're different, because, you know, you're special in your own special way, but you are beautiful. And maybe some of you who've chose pile number 2, why you're always like more in your head and always more protecting yourself, keeping yourself away from trouble. It's like maybe you thought you were ugly. Maybe you thought you're not pretty enough, tall enough, thin enough, thick enough, you know, whatever enough. But you are beautiful. Cards are here confirming it. And it's time that you dive into this feeling of your own beauty. Feel beauty. Beautiful woman or man in the world. But if you don't feel it, that you are, then for you, you're not. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we see people, be it on TV or movies or even on the street, and we find these really beautiful, beautiful people that you just want to sit and start, you know, painting a portrait of them. But they think they're ugly. And that's like always shocking to find that. Of course, most of them will know that they're beautiful, you know, but there are always these people that are amazingly beautiful, and they, you know, they were taught to believe that they were ugly, and that's what they believe. And I think it's your case. It's like this ugly duckling. Yeah, that's it. Yes, and with the ducks, yes. This is the ugly duckling syndrome you have as well. You always feel like you don't belong. You always feel like you're less than, that you're uglier than, but you're not. You're just with the wrong crowd. You know, you are a swan. You are beautiful. And I think like this person, when you see this person will see that. You'll see the swan, not the ugly duckling, okay? And these friends that I was telling you about, they're the friends, they also see the beautiful swan and treat you also as such. And this is now time for you to see the swan in you as well, to see the beautiful person that you are. And if you have difficulty with that, start with admiring nature, admiring trees, flowers, mountains, lakes, the ocean, the sunset, the sunrise. Nature is just beauty wherever you look. It's just beauty. It's like, it's amazingly beautiful wherever you look. So surround yourself by nature, go for walks, you know, get pictures or wallpapers or whatever of what inspires you in beauty, you know. And if it's not nature, then it's going to be art, right? Anything that connects you with beauty, because the appreciation of beauty is also one way of getting from your mind to your heart, because your mind appreciates beauty, but the heart is untouched by it. And then they start connecting. Really beautiful. Pile number 2. Wow. Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm touched. Now, continuing. Yes, the healing. The healing. We have 37. Goddess Tara and Tibetan quartz. Her eye ever open. Yes, it is time for you to open your eyes. And like I said, you're already in this process. You're understanding more your own energy, you're understanding your own value. And it is time to also be visible, to show yourself more, to put yourself out there more. And with Tara, Tara is very compassionate and protective. Again, you're being protected, and it's time for you to acknowledge that as well. And if you'd like to get this Tibetan quartz, you can do that. I don't sell them, unfortunately. Actually, that would be beautiful to have a crystal shop, but no, I'm just a crystal buyer. But if you want to get it, get it. You know, if you feel attracted to these crystals that appear in the cards, just get them, because if you feel attracted to it, then they're communicating with you. And yes, Tara is a goddess of compassion. And they're also like the mantras, the Tara mantras, and there's the white Tara and the green Tara. And you can find these mantras on YouTube. They are sang like 108 times, and I can really advise you to do it, especially at falling asleep. It's such a beautiful melody, and you just feel very, very engulfed in this beauty and love. If you need it, that would be a nice thing to do. But Tara is here to protect you, telling you you are protected. Put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. It's time to realize your worth. It's time to realize your beauty, to realize the wonderful things you have to give to the world in general, and especially in relationships. You have so much to give, and you deserve to be loved for what you really are. So now it's the time. But this is already happening. It's already happening. You're step by step. I can feel that for most of you. You're already in this journey. And then we have, this is one of my all-time favorites, Tiger Eye. Archangel Atnakiel and Tiger's Eye. The Tiger Spirit rises. We have Crystal Angels 444. And so this is a card of courage. So it's time for you to have courage. It is time for you to feel this freedom. You know, this freedom of fear, because I think that it's like we saw earlier, fear is what has been keeping you down. It's what has been making you small. You've been playing your energy down. You don't want to upset anyone. You don't want to be a menace to anyone. But it is time to let that go and come up with the courage to show yourself, like we were saying earlier, and to put yourself out there, because you deserve it, right? And we have 888444. Now the last card, we have number 5. I search on the uprising wave of love. This is beautiful. And this is exactly what I was saying. You're already riding this wave. There you have it, the uprising wave of love. This is the wave of transformation, right? And there she is here. I don't know if you can see her. So this is the wave of transformation, and you're already riding this wave. And the thing is, this transformation at first, or during the transformation, everything can seem a bit chaotic, because the new isn't there really settled yet, and the old still wants to hang on to, because I know how this is, I know this game. But there's no turning back actually at this point. You're already in this wave of transformation. You are already changing yourself. And this card also brings you the promise that you won't drown in this wave. It's like really to not be afraid. Like I said, we have so many cards here of protection. You are protected. And it's time to trust and let go of the past, and let go of the old ways of seeing things and old expectations. Just let it ride, because there's a new you coming, and a you that is more self-assured, self-confident, and more determined and assertive. And you can turn your dreams into reality. You are now in this transformation. And this is a new cycle. This is a new cycle of your life. And this is really, really beautiful. So you can be courageous because you are protected. Okay? So pile number 2, this was your reading. I hope it resonates and inspires you. And I wish you a wonderful time full of love. So if you chose pile number 3, this is your reading. So I hope you're all doing well and that you're safe and that your loved ones are also well and safe. And let's see then what is blocking your love life. So the first card, number 34, in the world, not of the world. So the first thing here is, when it comes to your love life, you're very defensive. You're a bit afraid of really giving yourself. And it can be that you choose always, like something that makes you feel safe. As such, this is a positive thing as well. Of course, we all want to feel safe. We all want to feel secure. But it's like you're choosing this over what you really want. It's like you're always taking the easy way out, so to say, instead of going for what you really want. And this causes then a kind of a conflict, because yes, on one hand you have safety, but on the other hand you're not fully satisfied. But you're afraid. You're afraid of putting yourself out there, of it's a bit similar, I would even say, like with pile 2, from the feeling that I'm getting. It's like you're afraid of showing yourself. You're afraid of showing your true nature. And your true nature is wonderful, but there's something in you that probably thinks it's not enough, or is not marriage potential, or that you wouldn't be accepted for it. And this is like you hide yourself behind beliefs, behind facades of being proper. And actually, you feel like you have to be perfect. You have to have like wonderful life, have this perfect life, have control over your finances, be incredibly fit, be beautiful, be pleasing, nice, be this perfect person in order to be loved, in order to be worthy of someone's time and attention. And but here in the world and not of the world, what I get here from this sentence and the energy I'm getting is like, you are here but you're not at the same time. It's like you're not really present. Your body is. People can see, your body can see and can hear you talking, but you're not really here, because you're hiding behind a facade, behind this beautiful facade you've built for yourself. And I think that's a big blockage here, is like then you never have the feeling that you're really being loved for who you are. It's like the real you is always love hungry, starving. Because you have the feeling. It doesn't mean that it's like that. This is how you feel, right? That people are just in love with the facade, with your achievements, with what you present. And you're hiding somewhere because you're afraid then people would be disappointed if they would see who you really are. So then we have the giveaway 23. And then again, you know, it's like you're not really giving yourself. And when you give, you're always expecting something back as well. It's like, let's put this in another way, is you have the feeling you never get in equal amount from what you give, right? So you're always expecting more from the other people. But I think there are two cases here. And it's not like an either or, it's more like two things happening at the same time. First, you're very giving, yes. Like in pile number 1, that person is also very, very giving. But, and one of the ways is like you give in order to be accepted. You give probably too much of yourself in order to give yourself accepted. Yeah, so look, I give you this, now give me love. But there's the other thing that is like you give, and you give from the heart, then what you get back is never fulfilling. Yeah, that's the way to put it. It's like, oh, I see. It's like what you get back is not proportional to who you are. And it's not the case that you have grandeur attitudes. No, it's nothing like that. It's like, it's like if the person is not realizing who you are. And the thing is, they're not, because you're hiding yourself. And the image you give of yourself, probably, for instance, some of you will give this image like, I don't need anything. No, I'm happy like this. But deep inside, you're not. And then people will give back to you, believing they're doing a wonderful job or doing something beautiful, but you're unhappy because you've never shared your real needs. You never shared your real wants and who you really are. So then we have this discrepancy here where you like, this give and take is uneven, but it's not the other person's fault. This is, you are hiding. And again, this is also very important to understand. This is also not your fault. You're not a manipulative person. It's just, this is the way you've learned to protect yourself. You know, that's something you do automatically, but then you're unhappy with the results. So this self-protection program, so to say, is actually now running against yourself, is turning against yourself, because in the end, you know, you may feel protected, but you're unhappy because there is not a big exchange from the heart. That's what I'm getting here. Yeah. And then we have completion, number 9. With a completion card, then it's actually, there's a cycle, there's a new cycle coming into your life. And funnily enough, all the piles, they all have like a cycle finishing and a new one starting. I think that's now with the world everywhere. That's a new cycle starting. I don't know if you feel the energy, something new coming. I hope so. Something beautiful, hopeful, positive. We deserve this. And okay, so, but coming back to you, that's more important right now. The thing is, it's time to move on. It's time to start this new cycle in your life where you can also show yourself. You can also give yourself to the world and get back this energy into your heart as well. But you're still clinging to the old. And when it comes to your love life, it's like you want like new relationships. You want something new, something beautiful, but you're still clinging to the old stories, or to the old ways of doing things, or to your old beliefs. Like, if I behave so and so, I'll get this and this back. But it's like life is telling you, that's with this card here, it's not how it's working right now. You are, life gives you a lot. And I have the feeling that there's a lot of abundance in your life. There's a lot of plenty. You never left wanting in life, right? Life is very generous with you, which is incredibly beautiful. But at this time, it's like you're not getting what you need because you're not aligned with what you need. It's like, maybe aligned is not the right word here. You're not showing, you're still hiding, and you're still clinging to things of the past. But it's like life is telling you, well, the past didn't work, or the things ended, so why do things the same way? Now let's start a new cycle. Let's do something completely new. Let's try new things out. But you're still afraid of doing that. You're still clinging to these old beliefs, to this old system, to old memories, to old flames, like it's okay to miss them, and it's okay to fantasize about these people of your past, especially if you're feeling alone. It's really okay, but don't cling to it. Just realize you're probably feeling lonely, and it's nice to think about these people, send them beautiful energy, but don't cling on to that. There's something new coming into your life. There's new energy, and it's going to come either you want it or not. Only like it's smoother if you align with it, if you surf that wave, so to say. Now, we have find balance. This is the Two of Pentacles, but in reverse. So another thing that it's like blocking your love life is the lack of balance. I have the feeling, like I said, like you have someone that life is very generous with you, and you have many interests, you have many activities, many hobbies probably, and you're a very busy person. And this is wonderful because you have so many interests. You're like, your life is very full. But the problem is to find balance then with love, when you see here, finding for love, or finding space, finding time for someone new. And this is something that you also believe you don't have. And then you're someone who says, I don't have time for love, or, my lifestyle doesn't allow me to have like any kind of love interest. But you can do it. You can turn this around, because if love comes, it finds its space and time automatically, because when you want something, you make time, you make it happen. But at the time, you're still believing, no, I'm too busy, I'm doing this and that. And but this is, again, is a way of hiding, is a way of not showing yourself. It's a way, again, it's hiding. The feeling I get here with pile number 3 is a lot of hiding, which is okay if you're protecting yourself, only there's no need for it anymore. But I think you're realizing that. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles, giving and receiving. And again, this is the same theme that we were talking about earlier. So we have giving and receiving. It's like with the giveaway, is on one hand, you give too much of yourself when you like someone because you're afraid of losing that person, right? You give too much, but then you don't get the same back and you become resentful. So again, we have to find a balance here. And this is also a card of balance, right? Balancing this give and take. It has to be on equal terms. But for you, in this case, for this to become equal, you have to know in your heart that you're not going to lose anyone, if you just give a little bit less, if you use your discernment and you just give what is necessary, what is needed at that moment. Of course, sometimes we give a lot because we're full of passion and we're impulsive at the moment, but it is not something constant. And I have the feeling that you probably are constantly giving and not getting enough back. And this really hurts you. And then you feel misunderstood. And even when it comes to actual presents or gifts, and the other person gives you something that has nothing to do with your true nature. And this hurts you. But again, like we saw earlier, you have also to share your true nature for the other person to know how to buy you the perfect gift, right? Just as an example now. So this is this lack of balance again, But I have the feeling, because this card is upright, that you're already working on it. You're understanding this more and more, and you're starting to align with this new cycle coming in. So the next 3 cards have to do with what to do in this situation. We have number 25, resistance. We have number 11, fear. Then we have number 10, discernment. We were talking about discernment earlier. And with the resistance card, is to take resistance as a friend. It's not to resist love or a change. Now, the thing is, this card is telling us that you've been facing resistance from other people, like potential partners or old flames. You've been getting a lot of resistance from potential partners. But it's like the doors are being shut, and it's to accept it and to let go. It's like also to take this opportunity to see the message behind it, what is not working, why is not working, to really look into it, because of course this hurts. If, someone closes the door in our face, this hurts, we'll feel rejected. But there's a deeper message in this action, and sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with you. You're just barking at the wrong tree, so to say, chasing the wrong person. Then also to question, why am I chasing someone who doesn't want me? Again, that would also be a kind of hiding, right? Because when we are all constantly chasing the wrong person, the person that's not available, be it physically because has another partnership, or emotionally because they don't want a relationship or whatever, it's actually a sign that we ourselves don't want a relationship. And it's like a part of us wants, but the other one is afraid and is always sabotaging. So we have here a case of self-sabotage. And this is what's changing, right? This is really the time to move forward with your life and know your worth, right? And speaking of fear, we have the fear card here. And it's really, this card is about letting go of fear and facing your fears. And also to understand, is this fear, like actual from this time, or is something from the past? And I'm always re-dramatizing the whole situation all over again. It's like probably if you look back to your love stories, so to say, or your love connections, you probably notice that there's a pattern there. There's always the same script being replayed over and over again. So it's like you're doing this to yourself because there's something you want to discern. Oh, they're all connected. It's really nice. So there's something you want to understand. And it's really cloudy for you. It's really difficult for you to see the truth in the situation, to see the message of the situation. And this is also a time to face your fears, to face yourself, to face the truth. And sometimes this can be quite unpleasant because there are things about ourselves or about certain situations that we don't want to face, we don't want to see. But sooner or later we'll have to. And it doesn't have to be in an aggressive and way. It can be in a soft way as well, okay? So what we have to do is stop resisting the truth. Stop holding on to the past, right? Move forward. Face your fears. It's okay. So you can see the truth. And know that nothing bad will come to you, right? And it takes as long as it takes to go through this phase, to let this new cycle start. It takes as long as it takes. And remember, all of this is not your fault. Yes, you're responsible for it. Yes, you've been doing it to yourself, but still, it's not your fault. These fears, all these things we've been talking about, like I said earlier, this is a program running. You've learned this program, and it's always running. And it stops running, so to say, when you see through it and let go. And by letting go is concentrating on something else, concentrating on something that's more positive, on what you really want. And this is what you're discerning. You're starting to find what you really want. You're starting to discover what is really your worth, where your heart really is. It's really beautiful. So let's see the healing. We have Goddess Maya and Ruby Aura Quartz Searing Presence. Wow. This is the way of the healing. And Maya is also the goddess of illusion. It's the goddess of our reality, and there we have discernment. So really cutting through illusion. And this is your journey through healing, is cutting through illusion, letting go of the past and becoming present. That's why we have a searing presence, is you becoming present, you being grounded, being here and now in this world, not just in your head, not just daydreaming. You are here, being present, being full responsible for your reality. Yeah, it's just, this card is actually about facing yourself. It's about the summarizing everything that I've just been saying. It's like the confirmation. It's about facing your fears, facing yourself, facing the situations, and know that you'll find a beautiful gem from all of this. And this beautiful gem is the truth, and this beautiful gem is you. This is fantastic. Then we have 38, Goddess Lakshmi, and dendritic agate and her golden grace. Crystal goddesses 888, just like here. And if you feel attracted to these crystals, you can get one. So I don't have a crystal shop, but maybe you'll find it in the internet or in a shop nearby. And you get them, then they will support you on this journey if you feel attracted to them. Now, Lakshmi, she's telling you you're wonderful. She's really telling you, don't be afraid to cut through illusion. Don't be afraid to find yourself, to face yourself, because Lakshmi brings bounty, brings prosperity. It's also a goddess of beauty, a goddess of wealth. So there's a lot of wealth, there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of abundance around you that's just waiting for you to see it, right? And this is also a card saying that, hey, there's healing here, there's inspiration, you'll be uplifted through this journey. So this journey is not dark, it's not heavy. This is actually something that will uplift you the whole way, because the more you discover about yourself, the more you start loving yourself. Really, this is a journey to self-love. This is a journey of self-discovery. Yes, you'll find some demons, but you'll turn these demons into beautiful angels. How wonderful is this? Yeah, and your healing goes through learning to receive what is given to you with gratitude. It's also learning that you're worthy of prosperity, learning that you're worthy of love. So it's self-love, self-worthiness. This is a big journey, and this will turn you upside down. And then when you have this light within you, this knowledge, you won't be afraid anymore of showing yourself. You'll be present, 100% present here in your own reality. And then we have number 22, the lion and the deer. And this card actually tells you that you're both. You're both the lion and the deer. And you have to accept all the sides of yourself. It's not just one side like we saw in the beginning, that it's acceptable and has to be perfect. No, you are wild and sweet. You are bold and gentle at the same time. You're everything. There's everything within you, and every part of you, every side of you is beautiful and deserving of love. And do not be afraid of what you find, what you believe to be your imperfections. Don't be ashamed of mistakes of the past. Don't be. At first, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone takes the wrong route. Everyone says the wrong thing at some point in life. But turn these into stepping stones, into actually beautiful experiences that brought you farther, that brought you to where you are now. And you are entering a new cycle full of prosperity, full of love. And you're becoming whole. That's the thing. And that's also with this completion card here. You're becoming whole. It's a new cycle, and you're becoming whole. You're becoming yourself. You're becoming complete. And the moment that you are complete, the moment that you know you are loved, the moment you know you are everything, then you won't be afraid of love anymore. You won't find, you won't have a reason to hide anymore. You'll just be present, showing yourself in all your beautiful colors, and the right kind of lover will come to you. The lover that also is complete, who has also beautiful colors and is not afraid to let them shine. And this person will recognize you, will see you for who you really are, and adore you for who you really are. So pile number 3, this is your reading. I hope it resonates and inspires you. And I wish you a wonderful time full of love.